200 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 dips, 100 jump squats, 50 burpees, 100 kettlebell swings, 50 over-the-shoulder med ball toss, 3-minute wall sit. The Crucible. A crucible is a vessel designed not to contain, but to withstand. It is forged to endure the highest of heats, not to melt, but to transform what's placed within. In metallurgy, it is where metals are melted down, impurities burned away, an element reforged into something purer, harder, stronger. The weak parts vanish. What remains is the essence. In life and in war, a crucible is a trial, not a test of skill, but of character, not a competition, but a confrontation with everything inside you that's soft, scared, or hollow. It's where a man is stripped down to his foundation and forced to choose, break or become. It does not care for your comfort, your excuses, or your past victories. It demands your full presence, your full power, and your full pain. A crucible reveals two things: what you are made of, what you were always meant to become. Why technique matters. Efficiency over ego. Good form ensures you're training the right muscles, chest, triceps, shoulders, and core. Bad form cheats the rep and cheats you. It lets weakness hide in momentum or misalignment. Longevity in war. Sloppy reps wreck the joints. Over hundreds of push-ups, even a small misalignment in the shoulders or elbows can lead to chronic pain. Precision is protection. True strength has no loopholes, full range of motion, no warming, no sagging, no half reps. Each rep should be a clean strike, not a wild swing. Think of each rep like a blade forged. If you rush it, it cracks under pressure. Discipline is in the detail. Every inch of your posture speaks. Are you a man who let things slide, or one who sharpens everything he touches? Even in burnout, your form is a statement of who you are under fire. Mind-muscle connection. Flawless technique tunes your nervous system like a weapon. You don't just do push-ups, you command them. Your body obeys because your mind is in control. When we speak of a crucible workout, we're not talking about exercise. We're talking about a ritual transformation. You step in as one thing, you leave as another. But only if you survive. What is transformation? Transformation is death and rebirth, not in myth, but in motion. It is the violent unraveling of who you were to carve the shape of who you were meant to be. It's not pretty. It's not gentle. Transformation is not change. It is destruction. A sacrifice of comfort, weakness, and ego on the altar of a higher purpose. It is the moment when pain becomes fuel, when doubt becomes silence, when the old you collapses and the new you stands up from the ashes. Real transformation doesn't happen in the mirror. It happens in the dark, in the suffering, in the thousand silent battles no one sees. It's not about gaining more, it's about becoming less of what holds you back, until only the essential remains. What is training? Training is the ritual of transformation. It is the disciplined pursuit of power, earned, never given. Training is not just movement. It's not just sweat, weight, or speed. It is intentional suffering chosen in defiance of weakness. It is how we sharpen the blade of our body and the will behind it. Training is the war between who you are and who you demand to become. Every rep is a strike. Every session a battle in the war for self-mastery. The day you stop training is the day you start dying. In the wild, not two predators strikes the same. Not two warriors walk the same path. And no two champions rise through the same fire. One lion flanks, another breaks the center. One snake coils tight and suffocates, another strikes once with surgical venom. Among eagles, wolves, and bears, there's no carbon copies. There is only adaptation. You see it in the way some wolves wait for winter to strike, while others run headfirst into the storm. You see it in ants that carries 10 times their weight, some as a team, some alone. What it means to suffer with purpose. Pain without meaning is torment, but pain with purpose, that's, my friend, is transformation. Every rep in this crucible is a question. Will you fold or will you forge? This isn't suffering for the sake of agony. This is suffering as a forge. Every push-up, every pull-up, every second of that wall sit. It's not punishment, it's prophecy. You suffer now, so you never have to suffer again in the same way. You burn, so the weaker version of you dies in the flame. You bleed, so the armor you're building fits skin tight, forged through your soul. Most people avoid pain like a plague, but the warrior seeks it out because he knows the right pain, carved into the right soul, produces the rarest kind of strength. And when the storm hits again, when life breaks in with chaos and blood and loss, you won't just survive, you'll rise because you suffered more and you've made it mean something. The path to 100 pull-ups. Before you chase 100, master 10. Build your base. Focus on perfect form, full range of motion, controlled tempo. Use weighted pull-ups, 3 to 5 reps, twice per week to build raw pulling power. Superset with rows, curls, and scapular retractions to strengthen supporting muscle groups. You can't storm the gates until your sword is sharp enough to cut through them. Pull-ups aren't just strength, they're skill, and skill is sharpened by repetition. Perform 3 to 5 submaximal sets daily. If you can do 10, do sets of 5 to 6. Stay far from failure to avoid burnout. Focus on form, rhythm, and breathing. Endurance expansion. Then you work on volume. You add weight to the war chest. 2 times per week, you accumulate the reps. You can also add eccentric only reps. So you jump up, lower down slowly to build durability. Optional, you can also use assistant bands to push past previous PRs while maintaining volume. Recovery is strategy. Every warrior knows when to push and when to retreat and rebuild. Sleep well, eat to recover. Mobilize shoulders and lats, foam roll, hang passively after training. Take deload weeks every 4 or 5 to prevent overtraining. Pain with no direction breaks a man. Pain with meaning transforms him. The forge does not care about pain. It only knows the metal it must make you into. Getting close to 100 now, aren't you? Keep pulling. Keep the tempo. Full range of motion. Everything is between the ears. Now, 100 dips. What is a stimulus in science? In biology and physiology, a stimulus is any external or internal factor that elicits a response from the body. It could be mechanical, like weightlifting, chemical, like lactic acid buildup, thermal, like temperature, or even emotional, like stress or adrenaline. Think of it as an input that will create a system response, and then it will trigger adaptation. The types of stimuli in training: we need to focus on load, tension, stretch. Why? Because it triggers muscle fiber damage and activates satellite cells, leading to hypertrophy. Metabolic stimulus, like the burn, the acid, oxygen depth. It builds endurance and boosts the mitochondrial density. Heavy lifts, stress, compound movement will cause a hormonal stimulus. It releases testosterone, growth hormone, adrenaline, the biochemical fuel for growth. The stimulus response adaptation loop. Stimulus hits, a hard set, a long sprint, a challenging task. Disruption occurs, your body senses instability or damage. Signals are sent through the nervous and endocrine systems. And then, only then, adaptation begins. Over time, your body becomes more capable of handling that stress. Train too little? No adaptation, my friend. Train just enough? A little progress. Train too much without recovery? Breakdown. That's not good. You need to use progressive overload, so you control the amount of stimuli. Your job as a warrior is to manipulate the stimulus. Add weight, add reps, shorten rest, increase time under tension, train and eat, cold or fatigue. You don't guess. You apply pressure with precision. The stimulus is the language the body understands. It doesn't hear words, it responds to force. That's why the Crucible is so good for you. This is a pure source of stimulus. Every dip now, it's not just movement, it's a signal. A message sent from chaos to your nervous system, from pain to potential, from what you were to what you must become. The body doesn't change because you want it to. It changes because it has no choice. The stimulus is the command. Woo! Jump squats now. Every time you jump, every rep, you're writing a new code into your bones, a new rhythm into your heart, a new destiny into your soul. You don't need motivation. You need a stimulus strong enough to make your weakness obsolete. And this is it. What is complacency? Complacency is the illusion that you've done enough. It is a soft whisper that says, you're good where you are. And it is a lie. In scientific terms, complacency is a state of self-satisfaction, especially when it is unwarranted. It's when you stop pushing, stop evolving, you plateau and call it peace, when it's really just stagnation in disguise. Complacency occurs when the mind mistakes comfort for mastery. You get a little stronger, a little faster, and instead of asking what's next, you start telling yourself, this is enough. You stop hunting, you stop building, you stop becoming. But in the forge of training, complacency is missing a rep because you already did a lot yesterday. It's skipping your cooldown, saying I'll stretch tomorrow. It's never increasing the weight because this feels fine. But the body adapts to stress, and when that stress disappears, so does progress. Complacency leads to regression, not stability. It is decay. The warrior's reminder. Complacency is not rest, it's rot. A blade that stops sharpening starts to rust. You did not come this far to flatline. You came to become something more. Now burpees. Purpose. Without purpose, there's no reason to endure pain. With it, pain becomes the proof that you're alive and aligned. Purpose is the compass that points beyond ease into battle. Ask yourself daily, why am I doing this? And when you answer, make sure it's something worth bleeding for. Take discomfort as a habit. You must seek the uncomfortable on purpose. Cold showers, brutal workouts, public speaking, fasting, anything that makes you squirm is a tool for war. Comfort breeds softness. Discomfort builds armor. Set yourself some progressive challenges. Set the bar, then raise it. Don't do what's familiar. Do what's necessary. Create rituals like weekly performance tests, PRs, time challenges, unforgiving metrics that don't lie. When the numbers stop moving, your soul should grow restless. Take accountability. Train alone, but never walk without purpose. Surround yourself with warriors who won't let you lie to yourself. A weak circle feeds your ego. A strong one fuels your evolution. Self-reflection and brutal honesty. Look yourself in the mirror and ask, did I give everything today? If the answer isn't a war, go again. You must be your own interrogator and your own savior. Adopt a predator's mentality. Never be satisfied. Always scan for the next hunt, the next weakness to eliminate, the next edge to claim. You don't stop because you're tired. You stop when you win. How to forge an unbreakable mindset. Steel is not born. It is made in heat, in hammer, in repetition. The mind is no different, my friend. Here's the code to building a mind that does not fold, does not break, and never bows. Begin with brutal truth. Be raw with yourself, ruthless. Identify your fears, weaknesses, addictions, excuses. Write them down. Stare at them. This is the or. Choose suffering voluntarily. He who chooses suffering is never truly a victim. Extra reps, hard conversations, waking up early when no one makes you. Pain when chosen becomes your tool. You're callous. It no longer owns you. It obeys you. Kill the comfort craving. Remove the unnecessary. Limit comfort like junk food, constant entertainment, or lazy routines. Learn to sit in silence, in stillness, in challenge. When the world demands ease, choose the hard path. That's the path of kings. The strongest mindset is not built, it is remembered. You're not trying to become strong. You are uncovering who you were meant to be. Don't forget. Start saying, I am a weapon. I am a weapon. I do not negotiate with weakness. I do not negotiate with weakness. Discipline is my default. Discipline is my default. Speak it. Believe it. Become it. Turn discipline into a ritual. Willpower fades. It is normal. But a strong ritual, it remains. Don't rely on motivation, my friend. Build a system. Train at the same time every day. Create pre-battle routines, music, lighting, breath work, affirmations. It will remove your hesitation and will make you strong. Now we're getting near the end, my friend. Be real. Do not fake toughness. I could go out there and tell everyone to ignore all pain, pretend to be invincible, and shame vulnerability. But the truth is, I'm trying to teach you guys true resilience. How to face your pain, how to use it, how to grow from it, but also the rest when needed, heal when required. What you're building is not some macho lie, it's a soul ardent truth. This mindset isn't for everyone, and that's okay. Some people aren't ready. Some don't want it. Some will see fire and run from it. But for those who suffered silently, who've been beaten down, who've been broken, abandoned, underestimated, this mindset is salvation. You're not pushing pain for pain's sake. You're showing that pain can be purposeful. That suffering doesn't have to end in silence. Be honest. This path isn't for everyone. It's not pretty. But if you choose to follow it, just know that you're not alone. While others scroll, you suffer. While they lose themselves in distractions, you rise. In a world obsessed with comfort, where convenience reigns and noise is the soundtrack of every moment, you choose silence. You embrace the weight of the struggle. For you know that true strength is forged in adversity. While others talk, you move. Words are hollow unless backed with action. Words are the whispers of those who have forgotten what it means to fight, not just against others, but against themselves. In the past, warriors carved their names into the stones of history with blood, sweat, and iron. They faced trials, not for glory, but for the sheer necessity of survival. The ancient ones knew that only through hardship could they become who they were meant to be. And here you stand, In a time when the battle is not fought in the arena, but in the mind. The true war is internal. Every moment is a choice to rise, to endure, to push forward when others have given in to their own weakness. You feel the burn, the fatigue, the doubt, and yet you persist. You take what others call pain and you use it as fuel. It is the hammer against the anvil, shaping you into something unbreakable. While the world watches the fleeting glow of screens, you see something different. You see the fire that burns within, the discipline that calls you to rise every morning, not for applause, not for recognition, but for yourself, for the warrior you are becoming, for the champion who will not bow to the fleeting comforts of this age. This is the difference. The world may falter, may bend, may yield to its distractions, but you walk the path of unchanged resolve. Where others see weakness, you see strength waiting to be unleashed. And while they sleep, you prepare to win, forever fighting, forever rising. The Crucible is not a workout, it is a rite of passage. It is a chamber of pressure, fire, fatigue, and silence. It does not exist to be completed. It exists to change you. It strips you of everything that isn't built to endure. Your comfort, your past accolades, your excuses, all of it burns. What remains is the uncut core of who you are and who you are becoming. A crucible doesn't ask you if you're ready. It simply waits, and the moment you step in, the process begins. 700 reps, push-ups, pull-ups, dips, jump squats, burpees, kettlebell swing, med ball tosses, a final wall sit that dares you to quit. This is not a test of muscle, it is a test of will. You do not pass or fail, you emerge or you don't. And the only way out is through. Every rep has a weight beyond the load of your body. Form is not optional. Precision is not decoration. It is discipline in physical form. There is nowhere to go. There is no one to blame. There is only the voice inside your head, and whether you choose to listen or defy it. You do not need permission to become. You do not need a crowd. What you need is a reason. What you need is the willingness to finish alone, unseen, without praise. This was the Spartan Crucible, not just the end of a phase, but the forging of a foundation. You do not repeat this, you rise from it. This was not punishment, it was prophecy. Thank you everyone for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and smash that like button.